welcome. Well, it's Thanksgiving week here in Washington, and I had to make a sort of fall harvest style of arrangement bundle for you this week. And I know some of you will be getting it after the holiday, but I think you're going to enjoy it still because this is the tail end of fall, right? And then we start getting into wintry greens and whites and silvers and all different sort of holiday, winter holiday looks. So enjoy the end of fall. I know I am. So let's see, let's start here today. I wanted to make an arrangement for my dining room table, okay? And so what I did is I found this is a planter, okay? So you can get something like this at a place that sells different, flowering plants or something like that. But really, you could also use any type of container that is this shape and have something that goes down a long table. And what you do when you have a container like this is you can make a tape grid to hold the flowers in place. So I started my grid already, but I'm going to finish it up here so you can see what I'm doing. I'm using tape, okay, and this is florist tape, which is a little bit thinner than regular Scotch tape, but you can absolutely use Scotch tape, okay? Don't let this stop you that you don't have this exact stuff. It's totally fine to use a Scotch tape. And all you do is you go across and cut, taping it. It's kind of like making a giant tic-tac-toe board, okay? A really big grid. So I went across, and I already did those ones, and now I'm going the other direction, long ways. And there's a car honking outside my house, which is lovely. Sorry if you hear that. Okay. Taping that down. I think I'm going to go 3 times in this direction. And then here's a really important step. You have to then tape around the edge of the container, no matter what type of container it is, because if you don't, when you go to put in the flowers, the tape can sometimes pop up and the whole thing falls apart, which is really annoying, and it's happened to me many times until I realized this very smart little trick. All right, great. You can see, you can put your hands right on there. Good firm tape grid. So what I'm going to do now that I have my container ready is take some of my awesome pittosporum. We call it pit. I love this stuff because you can see it's really nice and tall and green, but the way it grows, you're actually able to cut it down into many small pieces, and it still looks really good. So what I did is I cut right here where the new growth was growing, and I'm going to use a piece just like that, plop it into my vase. I'm going to cut this one here, place it in, and let's see, here I'm going to leave 2 of the sort of growths on there and stick it in. Now I'm down to this, cut this guy, stick it in the vase. Alright. And you see that one stem just was spread throughout the container, which is great because I still have more of it, but it certainly goes a lot further than if I just kept it in one big, large piece. Okay, I'm sticking this one in. And this one I'm going to break down as well. Stick this in. This centerpiece is going to be in the center of the table. Okay, it's going to be what we call in the round, so you're going to see it from all directions. So I'm going to look at it that way when I'm making it. Sometimes we make arrangements that are one-sided, that can go like up against a wall, right, and it would just be in one direction. This one's in the round. Go. Using a bunch of my pit, let's see, I'm going to use almost all of it because it's really nice to have a good base of greenery before you start designing. It makes it easier so the flowers stay where you put them in, but also it just looks good, okay? I'm going to use a little bit more. I'm going to save at least this piece, and actually I see that I'm near the end, so I think I'll actually save this piece as well for my next arrangement. All right, now, got my greenery in there, and what I'm gonna do is break down my wax flower in a similar fashion and stick it in. So here we have gorgeous root beer wax flower. Used it last week, but I had to do it again this week because it's just so beautiful and perfect for this time of year. And all I'm doing, you could actually do this sitting, not in your hand and try and cut at the same time, but that's how I'm doing it. I'm breaking it down into smaller pieces and sticking them right into my arrangement. Oh, this one's awesome because right here I can cut down this one, and then I've got this. See my separate pieces? All right. A little more, and I'm going to save a bit for my second arrangement. All right, there we go. Got the wax in. Next up, a little bit of my yellow alstroemeria. This stuff is awesome because it lasts forever. Cut it, take off some of the bottom leaves, and stick it right in as well. And I believe I have 4 pieces. Yes, okay, great. So I'm going to use 3 here and save 1 for my last arrangement. 1, 2. Here's my third. All right, just taking off some of this greenery near the bottom. These ones near the top, they're a little bit more fragile to pull off. You can leave them for a while, but if they end up turning brown, you can pull them off like later on during the week, just to keep the flower part looking fresh, because usually the greenery goes before the flowers, so the greenery might get a little yucky, then the flowers start to go. So if you cut out the greenery, then your flowers still look really fresh. All right, now my focal flower here, red Asiatic lilies. Obviously they're closed right now. They're gonna open up and they're gonna be gorgeous. And the sooner I cut them and stick them in, the faster they're gonna open up. So I'm gonna trim it pretty short. Plop one of these guys in here. Got one more. All right. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use my third here too. So I'm doing all 3 in here. All right, now let's see. I'm looking to see the other flowers I have because I know I had a plan here. Ooh, I'm going to use some of my Leucadendron Safari Sunset. I love that name because it does sort of remind you of Safari Sunset. The colors inside are a little lighter near the bottom. And this stuff's awesome because it lasts for a really long time. So what I'm going to do is also trim it short and pull off the bottom stem so it can slide right in. Not stem, sorry, the little greenery there. I'm going to, again, cut this one short. Here we go. Okay. And voila. Now, to finish this arrangement and make it look super cool, I'm going to put in some clementines. So I've got a stake here. Again, this is a florist stake, just like the tape. You can use a bamboo skewer, you can use a pencil, anything that's going to stab this thing and stick it right in. So I think we want a little bit of that sort of harvest feel, and you can use apples, limes, lemons, whatever you want in your centerpiece, and it smells really good too, actually. So now this one is done, big and fabulous, and it's going to look great going down the center of my table. I'm going to quickly show you this last piece, and you'll see it in the video, or excuse me, on the pictures, because I'm almost running out of time. What I wanted to show you is I have a little basket here, and I'm finding a little container that is actually baby food, and I'm going to stick it into the basket, and then I'm going to fill this with flowers, and you'll see a picture of it, and I just really hope you enjoy having fun with these flowers this week.